Meditating in my yard the morning of September 29, 2024, I suddenly have the impulse to go around back to check on my vegetable garden. Soon after I step behind the tall privacy fence, someone on the other side fires a shot. The shot came from behind me, but can easily be heard from the cameras out front as it echoes off the abandoned building. It sounds like a rifle. Upon reviewing the footage, we can see that the bullet passes directly where I had been standing, before I got the impulse to go around back. Then I checked the front cameras to see what vehicles were in the area during the incident. Seconds after the shooting, a silver SUV turns onto the road that goes behind my house, where the gunshot came from. I've seen this SUV before. Just 5 minutes prior to the shooting, in fact. Seeing as they came from behind my house 5 minutes prior to the gunshot, and returned to the same spot seconds after the incident, it is possible that they dropped off the shooter and then picked them up once the deed was done. Or so they thought. Let's see if anyone else was driving back and forth during the incident. After all, as seen in my previous videos, there are always various perps driving back and forth in front of my home during an attack. There was also a silver pickup truck who drove back and forth minutes prior to the incident. Exactly 5 minutes between passes, just like the silver SUV. And then we catch another silver SUV, different than the first, but driving the same route, just 1 minute prior to the attempted shooting. And its passes are once again exactly 5 minutes apart. Then, 30 minutes after the gunshot, a white car passes. Then 10 seconds later turns around and comes back to pull into my driveway. It turns out this is my neighbor being dropped off by an unknown vehicle with out-of-state tags. As fellow targeted individuals will already know, it is quite common for TIs to have feds moved into all surrounding properties. One has to wonder why this resident passed by their house first before pulling into our shared driveway, just like the other perps did. Perhaps to scope things out, make sure there weren't any cops there after the attempted shooting. After all, you'll recall this was the same DoD set of neighbors who were involved in a previous death threat, where a dead mourning dove was placed on my doorstep with a note on DoD letterhead signed A. Day. A message that I was to suffer the same fate as the bird if I didn't take down my whistleblower website in a day. I was in fact given another warning prior to this latest attempt on my life. It said I would see steel with a 33 for the ease. 33, of course, being the calling card of the high-level Freemasons, referencing the 33 degrees. And the attempted shooting was performed at 10:33 a.m. And all three vehicles involved were silver like steel, as secret societies are either unwilling, or unable, to attack without leaving pre-warning, and then symbols claiming their involvement during and after an attack. High-degree Freemasons and their silent dagger treatment are deeply involved in many of our targeting programs, as seen in my previous videos. The 32nd degree is my most common attacker. It is likely an initiation process required to enter the final public level of Freemasonry, the 33rd degree. More videos about secret societies coming soon. For you see, they do not scare me. The threats, the gang stalking, the surveillance, the constant harassment. It's just part of being on God's side. After the incident, I asked God for a message about the attempted shooting. Then I turned on the TV to watch some YouTube, and these are the video titles that immediately came up in my recommended. They aimed wrong. She's alive? When the killer realizes his victim is still alive. And finally, God's wrath is crushing them. Message received. God has protected me throughout this journey. And just as God had me move out of the way of this bullet, I trust fully that I will continue to be protected for as long as I am needed here. Never lose your faith.